Welcome back to a very special episode of Made for More. I am your host, Holly J. Moore, and I'm so excited about the conversation that Aron, my producer, and I are going to have today.
We are going to talk all about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, the albums coming out this week.
Yes.
The engagement, of course, that took the world by storm several weeks ago.
The engagement around the world.
Where were you? Probably here. Probably knee-deep in law codes.
This is actually so funny. I was here, and it literally popped up on my phone, and a paralegal walked in, and I go, Taylor and Travis are engaged! And she goes, who's that?
No.
Yes!
Oh,
yes.
My goodness.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was like, you are not the person that should have walked in that moment because you're not sharing in the energy that I need you to share in.
Abby texted me immediately, all kinds of screenshots and all caps. I was scared. And then I went into news sharing mode, and I went outside and I shared it with Jessica. And then I said, is anybody down the hall like a big Swiftie? Oh, yes.
Oh,
Christina.
Were you here? Were you at work that day?
I was here, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Christina's a big Swiftie. So I got to tell her, I got to break the news to her. She got so excited.
See, I should have gone to her.
She's right next door.
I know, but it was Vivian that walked in, and clearly Viv is not down with the Tavis.
Okay, but the talk several weeks ago, and you've been knee deep in 75 trials.
Yes.
So I haven't had a chance to talk with you. There was a lot of talk as they got engaged. You know, the billionairess that is Taylor Swift marrying the juggernaut that is Travis Kelce.
Yes.
Prenups. Are they going to sign one? Should they sign one? What say you, counselor?
Well, yes, of course. Of course they should sign one. I mean, there's really no question about that. Yeah. Period.
Okay,
end of story.
I will put a link in the show notes to all the things that you've said about prenups in the last year and a half. But I'm just curious though, because you've handled celebrity divorces, you've handled celebrity prenups and custody cases and all the things and you know the inner workings, you know the dirt. Like how does something like this come together from an attorney standpoint as you're consulted by, high-powered, high net worth people?
Yeah. Well, I would imagine it's their team. Taylor's people are working with Travis's people on this. Hopefully, I pray to God that it's already in the works because that prenup is probably going to take a little bit to suss out, to negotiate, to sort of flesh out. And so, the more time, the better. I've talked about this many times before, but whether it's Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce or, Joe Blow and Sally Smith, the more time, the better. Do not wait until you're right before the wedding. Preferably you want to work out the prenup prior to even setting a wedding date. So I would imagine their teams are sort of working together on that, which, that is, in fact, the dynamics of working out the prenup in this sort of, romanticized stage in the relationship. That's why people don't do it, because it's no fun. It's no fun. So, but you still should do it. But I would imagine at this stage, their people are working together.
And to that point, you talk about, it's not romantic at all. Because they've got people, maybe it's a little bit easier for them. And you can tell me I'm just full of it, but maybe it's easier for them to stay in the romance because they don't have to get into the nitty gritty because they have people to do that.
Objection misstates testimony. I never said a prenup is not romantic, okay? I just want to preserve the record on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I'm saying the perception of it. The perception of it by people are saying that, they want to stay in the romance of it. That's why they don't talk about prenups.
Yes.
But prenups can be romantic.
They can, yes, which is why I had to set the record straight, literally, because what is more romantic than caring enough about the other person and about your future together to take a step back from Fantasyland and be like, let's make sure while we still respect and love each other and care about the other's well-being, let's make sure that we're doing this right, that we're setting a solid foundation, and that we're really talking about the things that are going to matter in 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, rather than, spend our time doing cake tastings and all that stuff that won't matter a hill of beans after that cake goes in your pie hole.
I don't remember what podcast or show I was listening to or watching, but they had kind of floated the idea of a prenup that included a provision that should they divorce down the road, Taylor Swift is known for writing songs about ex-lovers, that he might get a percentage of whatever song was written about him and their relationship. Can you work that into a prenup?
Oh, I had not heard that. And I would actually need to think that through. Okay, so that is a very interesting question. I actually don't think that would be something that would go in the prenup. That would probably be something that would like an entertainment lawyer would do in terms of like those sets of contracts for royalties and like about the art. I don't necessarily think that's something that would go into the prenup because it's not really related to the divorce. It's actually related to any songs that she might write about him, which are not necessarily triggered by a divorce, So the other thought I have is you can't have any terms in your prenup that entice divorce. So like you can't say, if we get a divorce, like you will actually get this thing above and beyond. So depending on which side I was on of that deal, I might argue that Travis getting proceeds from like a breakup song with Taylor actually would entice divorce. Because I would imagine it would be a big hit. It would be a big moneymaker. And, he not only gets the sort of press from that, but also financial reward from that. So that's a very interesting question that you're making me do hefty legal analysis right on the fly, which good thing for you, I'm up to the task.
So I'm curious, and we'll wrap this up. We could talk Taylor and Travis.
Yeah, why are we wrapping it up? What's the rush? Are you hungry? What's happening? Why are we wrapping it up?
Let me get my Chex Mix. Some ASMR here.
Okay, but did you ever?
Hold on, my ASMR.
Oh my gosh. Did you ever think that their relationship was a PR stunt?
I had the thought because we're cynical like that.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be the first time, wouldn't be the last. But seeing them on their podcast, on the Kelce's podcast, New Heights, I don't know that you could, certainly you can fake that if you are a trained actor, if you are, a psychopath, maybe.
Yeah, it seemed pretty genuine.
It did. It really did. And I guess end of the day, you just kind of hope people are genuine. You hope that love is real, and you kind of love.
Yes, I love that. I love to love. I do. Well, but I think I am not cynical, even though, by trade, I help people tear apart their marriages in probably, the most harsh way.
No, I'm going to correct you, counselor. Oh. Objection, misstating testimony. Okay. You don't help people tear apart their marriages. They do that on their own.
That's true.
You help them navigate what's next.
Yes, that is very true. Yes. I was trying to be dramatic and noteworthy.
Continue with the testimony.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So, so even though I do that for a living, I never thought it was a PR stunt. And I've loved it from the beginning. And I think, I think most people, they do love because look at how it's captivating the whole world. Yeah. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah. And I admittedly, I was not a Swiftie before a couple of years ago. Abby's a big Swiftie. The kids, I tried to get them into Taylor Swift early on and they were not having it. But last couple of years, they're all about, is it T-Sizzle? T-Sizzle?
T-Swizzle?
T-Swizzle?
Wait, is that Taylor or Travis?
Exactly. Yes. Yes. No, so I'm excited for the album to come out. I'm excited for a listening party at the house. It's coming out on a Friday, so I can imagine all this weekend is just going to be nothing but Taylor Swift for about 72 hours straight. Yes.
Well, I hear there are some real bangers on the album.
I heard that the first single, maybe you told me this, is going to be with Sabrina Carpenter?
No, I did not tell you
that.
that.
Oh, no, Christina told me that. Christina said that one of our attorneys here said that it's with Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay.
Ooh, that's going to
be a good one.
Spicy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I do hope to God that they get a prenup, if for no other reason than to make sure that they're having all the conversations that they need to have. I hope that they never need their prenup. Let me just take this opportunity to mention, a lot of people think your prenup will help you when you die. And so people think, they always want to put provisions. Well, if I die, this, that, and this. That's actually not true. So your prenup is the operative document if you divorce, and your estate plan is the operative document if you die. If somebody dies when you're still married, your prenup never sees the light of day. If you divorce before you die, then your estate plan is, we don't care about that. It's all about the prenup. So may they never need their prenup. I hope they don't. I hope they stay married forever and we can all just, be in fantasy land about that. But, the odds are not in their favor. So I hope they get a prenup.
We didn't talk about this on how to end this episode, but I'm going to ask you a question that I think you'll know the answer to as a way to end this episode.
Okay. Gosh, I'm scared.
What should their love be?
What do you mean? What is it? I don't even know what that means. What do you mean?
What should their love be?
What does that mean? What should their love be? What does that mean?
How do you end every episode?
Oh, they should be made for more?
Their love should be made for more.
Yes, their love should be made for more. The end.
A prenuptial agreement, or sometimes called a premarital agreement, is an agreement that two parties enter into before they get married that basically chooses to deviate from state law. It assigns rights and responsibilities regarding assets and debts that are acquired during the marriage. Some common misconceptions about prenups are, one, that they basically doom the marriage to failure, or that it's really planning to divorce, and neither of those things are true. But the real value of a prenup is talking about and creating rules around how the things that you acquire during the marriage are going to be characterized. A prenup can protect things like art collections, real estate portfolios, businesses, all those types of assets. The ideal timeline to get a prenup is not 2 weeks before the wedding. The final version of a prenup has to be presented to the parties 7 days before they actually sign it. So there's like a 7-day waiting period. As soon as you get engaged, you should seek a lawyer's advice and counsel on a prenup and start the process then, because the closer the prenup is signed to the wedding, the more likely that the court is going to think there was some sort of duress involved in that person signing it, and they have to prove that the prenup was signed voluntarily in order for them to be enforced. At Moore Family Law Group, we represent a lot of high-profile people, celebrities, professional athletes, business tycoons. If you already have a lot of assets, or you think you're going to be acquiring a lot of assets during your marriage, we are the best ones to protect that for you and help you make your marriage stronger. Call Moore Family Law Group today.